George Polemitis, welcome to the Popko Project Podcast. How are you, buddy?
I'm great, man. Hey, John, thank you for having me on your awesome show, man. This is really cool. Let's go, man. I can't wait to talk to you.
Thank you very much. I was happy you reached out. When I started this thing, it was meant for arts and entertainment, right? And then it just kind of gravitated towards a lot of musicians. And this will be episode I think 222 or 223, one of the two. Um, so I say like 98% of it is musicians. And so when you hit me up, I was did kind of like a casting call, I guess you could say, and I said, if you're into arts and entertainment, contact me. I want to talk. And I've seen you out and about. We've been at the Steamtown Music Awards. Is probably the time I see you every year. But I know of you. I see you. You're right now. You're always constantly fighting with Gus the Savage.
Oh, that guy. Let's not give him no more mentions.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's. I'm sure we're gonna kind of get into that space. So
Sure.
we'll try not to say his name. But
Fair
George,
enough.
thanks for being a part of this. I'm excited to talk to you about who you are and what you've got going on. So, welcome to the show, and I'm excited for the conversation.
Yeah, man. Me too. You had mentioned the Steamtown Music Awards that we've seen each other there. This past year, you definitely rocked a better jacket than I had on. So shout out to you for your shine, man. That was a great jacket.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I try to class up a bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Did you see the
absolutely.
shoes?
You know what, man? I probably did, but you know how
Yeah,
them things
the
go, man.
yeah. I had a matching pair of shoes.
All right.
It's funny. I tend to wear that when I MC weddings. I wore it when I just married a couple. And I walked into the hotel room of a friend of mine, and he was brushing his teeth, and he looked over at me. And he goes, "Dude, that jacket is sick." And I said, "There's more." I said, "Look down." And looked down at the
Dang.
shoes. He's like, "What?"
When the shoes and jacket match, that's definitely a varsity move, man. Like
Yeah,
that's next level, man. And I'm not surprised Johnny Popko put it together.
yeah. My wife likes a jacket. She's not a big fan of the shoes, but it wasn't for her. It was for me.
Sorry, bro. You see me swatting. My cat's trying to jump on on
Oh,
on
I
my,
get
my
it, man.
Zoom space,
I
man.
get
I'm
it,
about
man.
to.
They're a pain in the ass. Mine does that
Oh
every now
God.
and then too. Yeah, no worries, man. But
Right, right.
I mean, George is a lot of things. Um,
Yeah.
some quick notes that I took. I mean, there's probably more to this, but a ring announcer, a hype man, one of the best. I mean, I've seen you on the stage at the Steamtown Awards. You're a barber, you're a father, and one thing we want to talk about is you're a promoter of the fastest rising indie wrestling ever, Smash Master Wrasslin.
Yes, yes, absolutely. The independent wrestling resurgence is on, and Smash Master Wrestling is leading the charge alongside the partnership with 570 Wrestling Experience. I mean, there has been these last 2 years of my life have been absolutely amazing since they brought me on, and they're allowing me to do what I love for something I love, which is pro wrestling. And really, man, this there's a resurgence. It was hot in the 90s, and then it slowed down a little bit, and people were people were going to other venues doing other things. We actually some of the goats in Smash Master Wrestling actually they wrestled down at where Loyalty Barbershop Wilkes-Barre is now, but it was called oh, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was the Cafe
Cafe Metropolis.
Metropolis,
Yep.
yes, and that's where they started bringing in hardcore wrestling, and it was just from there. It was a great time, but it was pretty underground. Now with the resurgence, we're just about ready to be mainstream.
Okay. I had no idea that they did wrestling at that venue. I thought that was just music.
No, man, it was. I mean, we're going back to the '90s a little bit.
Yeah.
When they just wanted to keep getting people in there, and yeah, yeah, there was some pretty awesome hardcore wrestling. Basically, where the 570, you always see our T-shirts, 570 wrestling and the 570 experience. That's where it all started.
Wow. And I feel back then was probably a little more dangerous than it is now. Just a
Well,
little bit.
I'll tell you what, man. Anytime you do like death matches or hardcore matches, I mean, there is some danger in there. But these guys trained all them years ago back in the 90s, the same as they train now, safety first, obviously. But yeah, I mean, now the move sets are getting a little bit more acrobatic. They're getting really a lot more hard hitting. So, a couple good shots slip in there, but these boys are pretty tough, man. So they're trying to be safe. Let's put it that way.
Well, I think like wrestling in general gets a bad rap, right? It's just the whole like, oh, it's fake, it's this, that, the other thing. But like,
You know
there's
that
nothing fake about how hard a mat or a ring is.
Yeah. So I mean, just for an example, 2 years ago we had an event, we had a free show benefited the Women's Resource Center up at Cayuga Field where the North Scranton Vikings play, and at that show, that's where Augusta Savage and I had our first face to face, and our commissioner Kit Raff. He was upset by what was going on, and I took my first bump. He clotheslined me to hell, and it was basically probably one of the hardest I've ever hit any surface, and I felt every bit of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the beauty of pro wrestling is it's a dance. It's a choreographed dance, and
Hmm.
there are spots called. There are just to peel back the curtain a little bit. We do know what's going to happen, who's going to win, but you have to get there. You have to perform it. You
Hmm.
have to do the dance. And a lot of times, you know what I mean? You got to hit. You got to hit. You got to hit. You got to get hit. And so there's a lot of realism to it, but it is a dance. It is a choreographed dance. That may be the only part of it that is fake, is that is predetermined. But
Right.
it's all action, baby.
I like that you relate it to a dance because you're right. It very much is that. There's two people. When unless you're getting what do you call it? What is it when there's multiple people? Like
Oh, well, when you're just getting jumped,
well, yeah. Well, no,
yeah, which,
I feel like
uh,
I'm not up to date with all my wrestling
like a
terminology.
rumble, like a
Yeah,
rumble
I guess
kind
you
of
could.
thing,
Yeah,
like an
yeah,
over the top rope kind of rumble. Sure.
yeah. Like there's multiple people in the ring, and if you get tossed out, you're out.
Yeah, so that's a rumble. That's a over the top. The normal rules to that particular match is you get thrown over the top rope, your feet hit the floor, you're out, and it's
Right.
usually about 30 guys in there at once. So the way that those spots get called is on the fly. Basically, once again, we're peeling it back, but they'll communicate who's going out at what time, who's going out when, but they'll say like, okay, I'm in the corner. Boot me 3 times and hit me in the face and then toss. So that all kind of stuff gets called on the fly. I would
Hmm.
say everybody knows who's going over at what point, but there's not too much big moves in a rumble match like that where
Right.
one versus one or a tag team.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, there's definitely a danger to it. I mean, if you look at interviews with guys like Undertaker and Hulk Hogan, and like, I mean, I think Hulk like lost, I think what, 6 inches off his height or something crazy like that, just because of the compression and things like that.
I mean, it's possible.
And
At this point, I do believe everything I hear. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
unless I'm proved otherwise. But yeah, there's dangers in everything, Pop. You
yeah,
know what I mean? But pro wrestling, it's known that dangerous things can happen. But these guys they're a professional, man, and they work so hard to put on the best experience for the fans, and so that includes being safe.
right, of course.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about this Smash Master Wrestling. And again, for me, I feel like it just kind of popped up. Where do you guys doing shows? Like, I mean, is it still in its like infancy as far as like getting it built back up? I've seen some incidents, we'll call them, at the V Spot during
Yeah.
the NEPA scene open mic. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of uh, there's a storyline.
Yeah.
There's beef. It's been fun to watch and see those things happen. And tell me where that's kind of going. Again,
So
I feel like it's new to
just
me
to
and maybe it's new to
yeah,
other people too.
just to answer the beginning of your question, Smash Master Wrestling came about almost 3 years ago, and Uncle Masty, y'all know him as the Mastodon out here. He had a vision. He had a vision that he wanted to get the best of the tri-state area, but definitely the 570 wrestlers, and to start an independent promotion. And he was putting all the pieces together, getting the roster set, getting everything, and he was looking for a ring announcer for his vision, and a wrestler that comes to Loyalty Barbershop. He told him, he's like, listen, I know a guy. He does the North Grand Vikings football. He's a press box announcer. He's got a big mouth. He loves to talk. Why don't you give him a shot? That guy was me.
Right.
So he gave me a shot, and I've watched this independent wrestling resurgence happen right in front of my own eyes, with Smash Master Wrasslin leading the charge. Full locker room, full production, from commentary to our camera work. 570 wrestling experience. We have Miss Queen Lindsay with the fan cam, and now it's the party cam, and she's probably one of the hardest working cameras in the business. We have photographers come and do our stuff, and they do great shots. Shout out to Cat Snaps. Shout out to Bree. Shout out to so many of the different photographers that have come in and shot. Is great work. And so we do. We started out at the Troop Civic Center, and they welcomed us. They were the first ones to welcome our show. They gave us a couple dates, and little by little, we started gaining our fan base, and we said, well, we got to do more. So we started reaching out to the breweries, Voodoo Brewery, Susquehanna Brewing, and they started welcoming our shows. So we've only grown. Now we are up until June right now. We are booked for 23 shows.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so that, and a lot of them, including this coming February 23rd, it's going to be at Voodoo Brewery. It's going to be Smash Master Wrasslin presents Mosh Pit Mayhem, No Ring Bar Fights. And it's 6 bouts. Fans bring weapons. It's going to be crazy. Live music. Coppermine will be playing. So many bands. Drowning Kelly played our last one, and it's really interactive with the crowd. But it seems to be the demographic that is really getting a charge out of us is the brewery crowd, the 21 and over. They're loving the action and everything. So like we've just grown so much that anywhere that will let us throw a ring up or a fight, we're taking now.
And what's that production like? I mean, you're bringing a full ring into these places?
Yeah. So we have some of the best ring crew in the business. These guys get up early. They'll go to the storage, take our ring, put it in the U-Haul, get it to the venue, put it up together within 20 minutes. I say our squad probably got record time. Squid Sterling, Alexander Bateman, they lead the charge. They've been heaven sent as far as getting the ring up and everything. And then 570 Wrestling Experience sets up a lot of the cameras that you'll see going around. Eric Pinhat, one half of the Diamond City War Machines, who was one of the 1990 OGs, sets up the sound system, plugs in my mic, everybody's songs. It is so technical and coordinated that you hate to even go over there and bug them. That's how great this production is. And then we'll have a commentary team. That usually gets done, like it gets done live, but then as our production show gets put on YouTube and some of the other platforms, they kind of like they'll patch over like the commentary in case some things got a little wonky or the conversation fell a little flat. So they splice, like you understand how all that goes, Johnny.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just got to like tweak it a little bit, hit the cutting room floor.
Yeah. I was going to ask you because by the time this podcast comes out, that February 23rd show will have already happened. So
Nice.
there's a place for people to go and see that on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not live stream, so once again, like I said, once it hits the edit room floor and everything, it's such a sick production. But you can find us on YouTube, Smash Master Wrasslin, like and subscribe. 570 Wrestling Experience, like and subscribe. And those are basically the foundations, and they branch off into other we have a TikTok channel that's kind of you can see some snippets of what we do. But full shows are going to be on YouTube.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And who are some of these characters involved with this group? I mean, I always love the names that are chosen for the the wrestlers? Like, who are some of the big names we've got going on in here?
Well, if I just started right from the top, Uncle Masty, the Mastodon, he's one big bad mofo, so it's his show, but he also is a competitor in the ring, and he's big, he's nasty, he's mean, he hits hard. Uh, his Capitan, Kit Raff, Scranton guy, 5-star guy. He is no nonsense. He just fought at our last no ring fight. The wrestler by the name of Cocaine, which I'm sure if you know WWE, there was the Big Red Machine Kane. Well, now he spawned in the independent circuit, he spurned copies of himself. And this one guy went as Cocaine, and he did the black and white, and he had a whole cocaine bit. But Kit Ram beat his ass and sent him to rehab. Um, we have the winner of our first ever Smash Mountain, Ricky Price. He literally hopped on a rocket ship, and he is one of our top stars. There we have some badass dudes that form. I really they hurt me right here, but the think tank, and that's Luca Mancini and Mr. Intellectual Tavius MIT. They're bad dudes. Jason Furious as well. They're bad dudes. They're causing trouble everywhere they go. Tommy Vex, two-time Asshole of the Year award winner. Him and Mary, they're up to no good. Always up to no good. And he deserves it 2 years in a row. I mean, he's probably going to work on getting it a third time, to be quite honest, Pop. But Luca Mancini was in the running as well. Big asshole, puts his hands on me all the time. I can't stand it. But and then I mean, we have some of the we have Riley Crow. She is the mother funkin' cake boss. She's the strangest bird, and her man, the legit bozo Philly Mike. He is the current high tension wrestling heavyweight champion. He also wrestles with Smash Master. So the list goes on and on. There's so many superstars. Alexander Bateman, Squid Sterling. They are the creators of the Mosh Pit Mayhem. They are the ones that are putting together these no ring fights. Which the last one we did at Voodoo was off the chain. The house was packed. There was weapons everywhere. Like I said, Drowning Kelly played, Suburban Downgrade played. Like we're mixing the local music scene, maybe even bigger than local music, to be honest. But we're mixing that with the fights. It's just everything is just blowing up, and this cast of characters are all helping put that together.
Dude, I'm loving this. I have to get out to one of these events.
Yeah, I got your ticket if you want, Pop. I'm telling you, man,
dude,
it's must see.
I will be there. That
We
maybe it's one.
absolutely and we bill it as it's not another wrestling show. It's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
You get it. There's so much that goes on from now. You'll see me running around. I'm the host and the ring announcer, but I also do backstage correspondence. And a lot of those videos that you could see on YouTube, like and subscribe, Smash Master Wrasslin, you could see all of that there. But so you'll see me out in the crowd, man in the crowd. We'll be doing interviews with the fans. Very interactive. It's a whole experience. The wrestlers all interact with the fans greatly. Like it's just really we are a wrestling party, a wrestling experience.
Dude, I mean, they've got the right guy in you, like kind of promoting this and being the ring announcer and your energy. I mean, like I wish there was one tomorrow so that way I could come to it tomorrow. It sounds like exactly what you're saying. It's an experience. It's a good time, and I love the fact that you're tying in musicians and also
Yeah.
local businesses. Like when you guys initially brought these ideas to like, hey, Voodoo Brewing, like we want to set up a ring in your brewery and have a wrestling match. How was that initially uh,
Uh,
perceived?
we have a couple of icebreakers uh, within our locker room that we all kind of went and put boots on the ground. Our number one is we always look for sponsors. Whether it be match sponsors or talent sponsors. So we were kind of on a run. We were going around town looking for sponsors, and I walked into Voodoo Brewery and I said to them, I was like, hey, who do I talk about booking an event? And one of the representatives came out and she was very nice. I forget her name, but she's a stud over at Voodoo Brewery, and I'm sorry for forgetting
Was
her
it Jen?
name. No, but Jen loves us.
Yeah, Jen's
Jen
great.
loves us. Jen Jen is she bailed us out. Can I tell you a quick, just a
Yeah,
quick one, real
please
quick?
do
So
whatever you want.
we were supposed to be at Big Daddy's Lounge on Cedar Ave. We were supposed to have our no ring fight show there. Um, the guy completely no sold us, didn't unlock the door, didn't show up. So we had all of our talent and fans showing up in their parking lot. We're thinking, what the hell do we do? Well, one phone call was made over to Voodoo. Jen answered the phone. He's like, hey, Jen, we're in a pinch. This guy isn't opening up the door. We have a whole show. We have people. She said, come on down. They shut the doors at 3 o'clock, got everybody out of there. We got in, and it was just really, Jen is a saint, and Jen loves us, and we love her and Voodoo for that, But so it was just basically a cold pitch, and she said, "Well, we'll see." And then one of their top chefs, Mike Gibbs, who's a personal friend of mine, but he's a top chef down there at Voodoo. He said, "You want these guys? This is no clown show. This is going to be big. Let's get them in on the ground floor." And they did, and there are them and Troop Civic Center, two of our biggest supporters, gave us the green light to have our shows there with no BS. And we're selling out Voodoo. It's tough to sell out Troop Civic Center because it's huge,
Hmm.
but we get a damn good amount of people, and it's just it's really cool to be a part of the growth and resurgence.
It sounds like this is something the area needs too. We have local musicians, and there's the open mic nights that Rich does, and there's they do the first Fridays, and there's all these like
We've also
different.
just recently partnered up with Rich and NEPA Scene, so we'll have their logos on the poster, and he's very supportive of Smash Master Wrasslin. I believe tonight, Squid Sterling and Bateman are settling a squabble up on that stage tonight. I'm not going to be there for that because it's going to get ugly. It may be a one and done once Vinny has to clean up broken glass.
Well, I was thinking that because I saw last week's video from that, and I saw that there's
Unbelievable.
going to be a meetup tonight. I'm like, man, maybe George won't be available.
No, I told them guys, I said, listen, you guys, I said, first things first, you guys got to settle this already. Enough. They even, this past Saturday, they were up at the Falcons Nest with New Era Pro Wrestling. Here's the beauty of this. So Smash Master Wrestling is around, but there's also New Era Pro Wrestling, BYO Wrestling, Frontier Pro Wrestling, Phantom 6 Pro Wrestling, and High Ground Pro Wrestling. Like, that's what I mean by the resurgence.
Yeah.
So last Saturday, there was a show at the Falcons Nest, New Era Pro Wrestling, and these two clowns, Bateman and Squid, they couldn't even behave themselves there. That they started shoving each other. A couple kids got scared. Security had to break them up. So hopefully tonight when they talk, they finish this, because I'll tell you now, if they keep bringing this shit around, Masty's just gonna hit them all. It's gonna be bad.
Now, did I see this correctly that they were like tag team partners for having
Yes.
this beef?
So yeah, they are the mosh pit. They are the mayhem.
Right.
They are the music mayhem. Squid Sterling, the soul of rock and roll, and Alexander Bateman, in the Salem Slasher. They both. Well, here's Gus the Savage, and I said I didn't want to call this guy's name out again, but Gus the Savage started some shit, and he's like a cockroach, like he ain't going away. Well, now, so I finally put the kendo stick to him, and I squabbled up. I said, "You're done now. I have no more time for you." I said, "You made me come out of my shirt and whip your ass." I said, "So I'm done with you." Well, then he, for whatever reason, couldn't handle that, and he goes and he starts picking a fight with Bateman, aligning himself with Squid. So like this is just it's getting out of hand. And tonight, tonight Bateman and Squid are supposed to settle this, but I also know that Gus the Savage is going to be in the shadows. So
Hmm.
like I said, Vinny might be pissed off. It might be a one-off, broken glass everywhere.
Well, we should wrap this up and go tune in. Not really, but yeah,
No, just
I'll be.
stay away, Pop.
No, I'm gonna. Rich does a good job live streaming that stuff, so
Oh yeah, oh yeah, he'll be
I'll have to jump in and see what's going on.
yeah, yeah. It'll be starting up soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I love this, man. This is like this is like an exciting thing, and I remember watching wrestling when I really wouldn't get into it too much when I was younger, but I think I got into it more when I was in high school. It was The Rock and Stone Cold and things like that, and I kind of fell off when I hit college, and then I remember watching. Was it a
Well,
Royal
college
Rumble?
probably had you chasing girls and shit, so that's
Yeah, I
you
was
didn't have
busy.
time for
I
TV
was
because you were
busy.
chasing the babes, huh?
I was busy, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it's just like the respect I have for local musicians. Like I'm really in on this right now. Like this is like exciting, and I'm so glad you came on here and you're talking about this, and I'm so glad you guys are doing what you're doing. Um, what if you were to make a pitch as to like why people should come out and see one of these shows, what would that be?
It's plain and simple. Come see something you've never seen before live in person. Come see what you see on TV, but at times better. Come see guys give it their all for the audience. Chops, kicks, dives, violence, smiles, jokes, pain. Come see some of the biggest and some of the smallest competitors, male, female, getting it on, fighting for your entertainment. Come on down, Smash Master Wrasslin, BYO Wrestling, Frontier Pro Wrestling, Phantom 6, New Era Pro Wrestling. Do yourself a favor and come out and watch independent wrestling, and you won't be sorry. Come join the experience.
Yeah. And do you guys go outside this area as well?
Yeah. Yeah. So we this past summer we were at Three Dogs Vino Winery. We were at some awesome cornfield in Bloomsburg. We just put it up in the middle of the cornfield, and there was fans on tractors and folding chairs, and we had the ring right in the middle of this field, man. We've been to we were in Philly for WrestleMania week last year. We had a Thursday night show, Smash Master Wrasslin. We got to see all the fanfare down there. We were in Philly. High tension wrestling is another. That's actually, geez, I Alex Kilowatt. I'm sorry for not mentioning High Tension Pro Wrestling. They are one of the other big independents that run with us, and they are basically based out of Philly as well. So we go there. A lot of our superstars are from New Jersey, like I said, the tri-state area. But we are seriously anybody that wants our show, we are more than willing to load up the truck, load up the team, and go to it. So we're hoping to do maybe somewhere on the beach, maybe the Carolinas, anywhere is a possibility as long as they want a real fun time.
I had no idea that there were this many like groups.
Yeah, independent wrestling. Yeah, it's like I said, the resurgence is now, and it's a good time to be a wrestling fan because you could catch wrestling just about a show every weekend now.
And what do you think contributes to this resurgence?
Uh, the people that care, the people that care, we're putting on a good show, and the word is getting out there. We have some people that have never seen wrestling in their life. We have some people that are, oh, I'm not gonna go see that fake shit, and then they come and have the time of their life. It's word of mouth. It's the resurgence is on because Smash Master and 570 Wrestling got serious, and we're putting on a goddamn good show. So people hear that now. This ain't like back in the 80s, 90s, even 2000 gymnasium show, CYC show. No, this is the whole experience.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited to see a show. I may have to come to that 23rd show.
Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. There's fans bring the weapons. Please, no glass. You won't be allowed to come in with any glass thing like light bulbs or anything like that. But I mean, one guy brought in a bucket of Legos and they threw it on the ring, and the guy got slammed on him. Now, Johnny, I don't know if you ever stepped on a Lego before, but oh, Maron,
I
imagine
got
getting
kids.
slammed
Yeah.
on a whole bucket. Yeah, yeah. So but so that's one of our big selling points is that we have a friend. Fans bring the weapons to these no ring fights, and It's awesome, and the live music is playing while they're fighting, and it's just crazy.
That's awesome.
Not to mention, you get to sample one of the 19 delicious craft brews at Voodoo that they make. My favorite is the Lacto Cooler, and they got a menu, a burger menu that you can't believe, and it's all open all during the show.
Nice. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just did a Burger Mania event there with Rock 107 last Wednesday. Yeah, last Wednesday. And I forget what the name of the burger was. It was phenomenal though.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what that burger is, but just speaking on that, I don't know if you've been to Barletta's yet, but they have a super smash burger that's probably going to be your winner for this
Yeah,
competition.
they
Yeah.
won. They
Oh,
won last year, I guess. Yeah,
yeah, it is, and it is. I get it once, maybe twice a week.
dude. Every burger so far. Well, I should say everyone because I haven't tried all of them yet. But Mutant Brewing,
Yeah,
the that phenomenal burger. Voodoo was good. I didn't make it to the one in Carbondale, the peanut bar.
peanut bar. Yeah,
Um, I think tomorrow's at the. I want to say the Barrel, and
I'm not
then the
familiar
week
with the
after
barrel.
that, I think is. Or no, 2 weeks after that is Food and Fire, which I mean, all the burgers look amazing.
Unbelievable.
And this the smash burger seems to be a big theme amongst a lot of them.
Yeah, there's just so much more flavor than just a standard burger, man. It's really good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can't explain how excited I am for this wrestling stuff.
That's good, man. And once again, I'm going to thank you. All praise to the Pop Show Project. I mean, all of it. Thank you, man, for letting us come out and finally start opening ears and opening eyes. You're very influential in the whole entertainment world, man. So hopefully, when the people see this, they get interested. They want to see it just as bad as I want to be there, and I want to buy your ticket and have you there, man. So thank you once
Well,
again, Pop.
you're very kind. Thank you for the kind words. I do appreciate that. Um, but so you're this hype man, you know. You said before that you're the press box announcer for football.
Yeah. So 19 years now, I've been calling North Scranton Vikings football up in the press box, play by play
Yeah.
for the fans out on the field. Yeah, and it's something I love. It's something I do for the kids. Mine have went through the program, graduated, and I'm still there. You know what I mean? I give the kids the roar of their name. And it's pretty cool because a lot of people are like, oh well, announcers just announce the skill players. Well, I have a nice routine to where if like an offensive lineman who gets no glory but does all the dirty work opens a nice block, his number gets called for opening a nice block for the play and everything. So I've managed to really hone that in, and I'm having a blast with it. I did North Scranton Vikings baseball. Baseball's fun to do too, but not as energy inducing. But yeah, I love the mic, and anytime I could do something cool for the kids, I'm gonna be that guy. And it's just opened me up to opportunities. I did a Scranton Irish boxing event that was just at the Holiday Inn in Dunmore. It was Team Ireland versus Scranton Irish, and I did boxing announcing. I'll be doing that again April 12th there, and there's going to be 3 pro bouts. So I branched out into the wrestling, boxing. I'm doing the football. I'm going to be hosting the 570 music show, red carpet and award show coming up. Um, I did Bloomsburg hockey. It's just everybody. Smash Master gave me um, they gave me the ability to do what I love, and now all of this stuff is just taken off from it. Even though it started with the Vikings, I was just there for the Vikings.
Mhm.
The only people that heard me were there for the Vikings. Now that I'm with all of this, everybody's starting to hear me, and everybody is starting to feel my energy,
Yeah.
and they want me to be a part of their shows, and I love that because I may be a mediocre barber, but I'm a great hype man.
Dude, you're excellent. And how did that all start? I mean, how did you? I mean, people are afraid of the microphone, right? Like, no one wants to be on the mic, and it's. I do PA announcing for King's College basketball for men and women, and I got offered to do that. I kind of blindly almost that, some guy was like semi-retiring and they're like, we need somebody. And like, I was like, thought I'd have to go for an interview. But I was like, I do a podcast, I MC weddings, I do this, I do that, I'm on the radio.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you'd be great. And I'm like, okay. And I went and watched the guy, like the pro that was doing it for like 30 years. I'm like, holy shit, this is a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Hmm.
And I'm stressed out every single game. But like, how did that come to be for you? How is that like a thing?
There was a so we'll go back almost all the 19,
Yeah.
and that's when my son first started playing, and I was a dad coach. You know what I mean? I was just kind of I was on the field, I was helping. I just wanted to start being a part of it. My son was just young yet, so I wanted to make sure everything was right. And the games were getting played, and there was an elder guy up there, and he was pretty boring. He was pretty plain and everything. And I said to the league president Carl, I said, Carl, is he up there all the time? He's like, yeah. He's like, why don't you go up there and talk to him? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go up there and talk to him. And I said, hey man, you do a great job. Do you mind if I listen in and maybe help you out a little bit? And it all started with me, spotting the play, letting him know what numbers were there because that's part of it.
Hmm.
And then he had to leave, so he's like, he's like, here's the mic, give it a shot, just call the play, call the number. And that first time I roared, and people are looking back, and people because the press box is behind everything, they're looking back and they're like, who's this guy? And I was having such a blast. And I that was in the middle of the B team game that I had to do. So it goes DCBA. So it was in the middle of the B game, and I got it. And then I did the whole A game, and so many pats on the backs and great jobs and everything like that. And I was just like, I guess I did pretty good. Well, Carl said, what? He's like, anytime you want to do what you just did up there, you can. 19 years later, I'm still doing it.
That's awesome. You're a
Yeah.
natural. You're a natural.
It was just fun. And I think it was people making me feel good about what I just did that made me want to do it more and get that praise and get that acknowledgement that, up until that point I was just a young dad with a kid working hard, and it was an everyday like routine. I had no spark.
Yeah.
And this gave me a spark, and now I'm just a chatterbox, I
You're
guess, with
in.
a mic.
Yeah. Well, it's so important, and people probably don't like ever think about it because if you're at a game, you're there, and maybe it's background noise to you or whatever. But like when you have somebody good, like that,
Yeah.
that really takes it to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely it's fun. That's what
Yeah.
it is fun. And that's why I put everything I got into it. And then it's just from doing that, it's just transferred me into me being able to read a crowd, reading the body language. If I'm playing a song and I start seeing, what I mean, people are
Yeah.
starting to get into it and everything. Well, now I know, okay, let's keep this vibe going. Maybe say a little something to get, all right, everybody, you're feeling this one. Well, how about this? And then, what I mean, then now everybody's jumping around and smiling, laughing. You've just created good energy.
Hmm.
And you do the DJing, and you do
I don't
what you have
DJ.
to do to, huh?
I don't DJ. I just talk. Because
Oh, well,
yeah, because the
well,
the DJ I go with, he doesn't want to be on the mic and he's very good at it. Probably,
okay.
but yeah.
So you're a hype man.
Yeah, I mean, I try. It's like again, it's very. I kind of probably get in my own way. Like I don't ever want to. I always get fearful of like taking it too far or like, um,
Yeah,
eh,
the best thing as far as that goes, and I had to learn that too. It seemed like I was always talking and nobody was enjoying nothing because I wouldn't shut up. So you say you're brief and impactful.
yeah,
That's what if you could make quick statements and quick hype, that's good. If you're going on, hey, remember back in the day when you danced to this? And, they're like, well, okay, let us dance. I mean,
yeah,
okay. So that's why it's like, you know how to get it done.
yeah. I'll have to take some lessons from you.
Let's go. Let's what do you call it? Collab, man. Let's
Collab,
just
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, see, I suffer from this thing, and I don't want to sound like self-deprecating, but like I suffer from this thing that like I'm not good at anything that I do. Like nothing that I do is very important. Nothing really matters. Like I find myself very mediocre. So it's like when I think about doing something, it's like, oh, like people are gonna like think I sound stupid or like oh that was dumb to say or whatever. Like I get in my own head, I get in my own way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Fix
work
that,
on that.
Pop, because you're that damn good, man. You got just get out your head because you're
I
that
gotta,
damn good. That's just it.
yeah, it's well, I mean, it's tough to,
Yeah.
um, I don't know where that comes from. I'm always very self-conscious. Like it's funny, my kid, we were coming home from something, and he's like, uh, he goes, "Is it hard to play the drums?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I mean, it could be." He goes, "Is it hard to play the guitar?" I said, "Yeah, it's probably similar to the drums. You practice and whatever." He goes, "Like, what if the band's playing and they screw up? That'd be pretty embarrassing, right?" And I said, "Well, yeah, but that's why they practice." And I think he was trying to like, I think he was interested in an instrument, but it was trying to find like the easiest route. Like, well, what's easy to play? Because this seems cool. And I said to him, like, you know what, dude? Don't ever be afraid to try something because you're worried you're gonna screw up or you're gonna fail or whatever. Like, you're not gonna be good at everything you do the first time. You just gotta practice. And I said, don't ever not do something because you're scared. I said, there's so many
Dang.
things in my life that like to this day that I don't do because of what I just said, and especially when growing up, like I just stayed away from things because I thought I wouldn't be good at it, or I thought, like I would fall on my face, and you know, I- and if he listens to anything I ever say in life, I hope it's that. Just like don't ever be afraid to
I
try
love
something.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great. I couldn't have said it better myself, man. That's perfect.
yeah. But you're a father too,
Yeah.
and a grown kid, so I think I find it almost impossible with how young you look.
Appreciate that. You know what I mean? Yeah, my son is he's 24. He'll be 25 this year. My daughter will be she'll be 19 February 15th. So yeah, I done good. I raised two good humans right now, so they're doing great. They're
That's
doing great.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I often said and I still say like my purpose on this earth is to be a great father, and that I take great pride in saying that. I take great pride in being that.
Yeah.
It's really to uh, to be able to do that, to create and raise and just uh, see it out there. Like you know what I mean. They got great manners. They've got respect. They got good work ethic. They're funny. They're beautiful. They're you know what I mean. They're just perfect. Everything's going right, and that's that's a testament to their mother and myself. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
We did a damn good job, and there's nothing like being a dad. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people, they're, I never want a kid, or this and that. It's fine, whatever your reasons are. For me, it was my sole purpose on this planet is to be a great dad.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I was always like on the fence about kids, and my wife was too. Like we were,
It's a scary thing, dude.
well, yeah, it was one of those things. It's like if it happened, cool. If it didn't, that's okay too. And I remember it vividly. We just pulled up to a friend's house. We were going into a party. We just parked outside the house. This is kind of like when we're kind of like thinking about it. And she said to me, she goes, I think if we don't do it, I'll regret it forever. And, we'll be old and I'll wish that we had done it. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I wasn't like for or against it. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, I look back on it now and we had my son or our son when I was 35 and then daughter came when I was 39. And like, there are so many times where I wish that I would have done it earlier
Yeah.
because it's the greatest joy.
A blessing's a
Um,
blessing, man.
yeah,
It's
but it's a scary thing too. I mean, like,
so wait a minute. When you guys were having this conversation in the car before you went to the party, did you work on one?
no,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
maybe that night. I
Later
don't
on.
know. Yeah, maybe that night. I'm not sure. I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it
I was
was.
gonna say that's a story enhancer right
No,
there.
no. Yes. I should change the story. Yeah. We said yeah. So we started
Yeah.
in the
You said
front
yeah, so
yard.
we just went for it. Yeah,
Right
front
in the
yard.
front yard. Yep.
Wow.
No, our son was that was probably the summer, and then we were talking about it, and then when did she? Or maybe that was I forget how it played out, but he came easy. It was like
Nice.
she's like, "Oh, let's try this." I'm like, okay, let's do it. And we did it, and she was pregnant. The second one was a bigger challenge.
Mm.
Um, some losses along the way, and we had to resort to IVF, which was crazy because like our son was so easy. Like it was just like, we want a kid, and we did the deed, and he was there. And then it's kind of crazy how the body works and how
Yeah,
life works out. But it's all good and very blessed. And yeah,
blessed.
I'm terrified to be a father. I mean, this is a
Uh-huh.
crazy world we're living in these days, and
Yeah,
um,
yeah, you're sure you're right about that.
you know,
Just know though that your teachings, moms, both you guys teachings and raising, you don't have to worry about the world because you're doing it right. You're doing it
right.
right under your own roof. So when they get out there and strife or turmoil or something presents themselves, they're gonna know how to handle it because you and mom did a great job.
Yeah. What were some of the hardest things you experienced being a dad?
Definitely, definitely when they got hurt or sick,
Yeah.
you feel helpless. You can't just tear off your shirt and have the Superman thing there and fix it. It's you got to get them to the doctor, or you help them get well from being sick. Those are probably that's probably it.
Yeah.
Some of the hardest things. I mean, also letting them go for the first time.
Yeah.
There was that. There was once they both got their driver's license. Like as a dad, I lost them needing me
Hmm.
for a ride or this and that. So that was tough, you know what I mean? But easily bounce back off of because now they're like, sometimes they could be a pain in the ass, you know what I mean? So, but
Yeah.
yeah, just things like that, man. Just nothing really too crazy, too hard because I was ready for it. I wanted it. I was 23 years old when my son was born. So young parent, man. Like, but I was already married.
Yeah.
So that was all part of the plan,
It's the next stage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I feel you on that getting hurt stuff.
yeah.
I
It's
thought my daughter almost broke. Well, I thought she did break her ankle at a party late last summer. Um, and I was kicking myself in the ass the whole time. I just sat down. We just got to the party, and she was on the bounce house with like other kids and stuff, and she started jumping off like it was like down a slide, and then maybe like a 2 foot like drop from like the landing zone to like the ground, and she was like jumping off that onto the grass. And like she'd land and it's like she'd fall over and she'd laugh or whatever. And I'm like, I should really get up and tell her to like go down on her butt, you know?
mm,
I'm like, John, like just calm down, like stop being a crazy parent, like don't embarrass yourself in front of you know other parents and stuff. Like just chill.
mm.
Sure as shit, she did it like 3 or 4 times, and the last one I saw it happen. She landed on her foot. She
Ooh.
immediately like fell over and just started rolling on the ground, crying.
Oh
And I
no.
ran over to her. I picked her up, and typically, like when kids are hurt, if they're not really hurt, they'll stop crying. She wasn't stopping. I looked down, and she had like this like bulge on the side of her ankle.
Oh boy.
Literally at the party for 30 minutes. It's a Sunday, so we had to go to the ER. Thankfully, it wasn't a break. It was really bad sprain, but we had to put a boot on her. Like all the, like it was just like, and I just every day that she was in that boot, I'm like, you should just get up off your ass,
Oh yeah.
and because she would. Initially, I'm like, she probably won't listen anyways, but she would have listened if I just said, "Hey, yeah, have fun, just come down on your butt," and I just didn't
Yeah.
do it. I I knew I should have, and I second guessed myself, and but it's all good. But yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of years of that to go
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. And it's great. It's great.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about being a father?
My favorite thing about being a dad is definitely the hugs, definitely the thank yous, definitely just the love, no matter what, the smiles. Every day I get home from work, no matter what, I go looking for them. Hey guys, what's up? How was your day? It's something that'll never stop. You know what I mean? That's so my favorite parts are definitely the hugs and just the smiles and everything, man, and the little the little quips we have back and forth and everything. Like, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
they're definitely both me. Let me see. No, what are you doing? We just got this pup.
Oh, puppy.
Yeah, he's misbehaving right now. So she's
Yeah,
standing over like, would you take the dog?
they do
My
that.
daughter, my daughter. So there's Waffles. All right, see you, Waffles. I got him.
We got a puppy last April, and oh, what a
God, it's the
challenge.
worst.
Challenge. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to get into that.
No, we'll get canceled for
Yeah,
hating dogs. I don't
yeah,
hate
yeah,
dogs. It
yeah.
just,
That's a.
dude,
I'm
like,
like,
but
come
like
on.
all the patience I ever had, like, were spent on my children. Like, I always tried to be very just like easygoing, and that dog came in the house, and
Hmm.
it was all over. Like that just, yeah, I don't know.
And it's hard. It's just like another brand new like kid or something. Like
It's worse.
it's
It's
worse.
worse.
It's worse.
You know, like the potty training, like at least with kids, you put a diaper on it. It pisses
Yeah.
and shits in the diaper.
Change the diaper on to the
Yeah,
next. No,
you
this
know? Fuck,
pee
man.
pads, all of that bullshit. I
Yeah,
got
man. I don't miss that.
it. No,
I don't miss
I'm in
that
the
at
heat
all.
of it now.
Good luck.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's worth it. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you know, but what was I gonna say about kids? Um, shit. I forget.
Ah,
Not important.
the butterfly.
Not important. But yeah, they're oh, I wrote so you said before about, people not wanting to have children for whatever reason, that's their choice. It's fine, right?
Mm.
But I wish that I could have those people feel the amount of joy that I feel just for a day. And it's not to change their mind, it's not to do anything like that. But like it's such an amazing experience, and
Yeah,
I'm sure you can.
there's a lot of cool stuff, man. It's really it's cool stuff. You know, they and like you said, there's just that just a little bit of that kind of experience could, change their mind or really solidify their decision to not want to
Yeah.
have a kid. But either way, you should definitely everybody I think in life should at least you know be somewhat influential to a child or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just better building a better human race. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so
We need that
yeah,
because unfortunately there's too many that they don't have that.
right,
And
right,
it's like it's so sad. Like it just I couldn't imagine not loving, you know, my
yeah,
kids or even a dog, like, right? Like it might be a pain in the ass, but like it's still like they're innocent, right?
yeah,
But
yeah, for sure, man.
you mentioned coming home from work, and you are also a barber at Loyalty Barbershop in
Yeah,
Archbald.
yeah, yeah.
How long
Yeah,
how long has that been?
I've been a barber for I've been in the business for 26 years. I've been with Loyalty the last seven, and it's what I chose to do in life. I really had no direction, so I was basically chasing girls. So I went to beauty school in the beginning, and
Good place to find
yeah,
them. Yeah.
yeah, I was in a class of 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Good odds.
I ended up really loving the trade. Uh, Gave it a shot in the salons at first. Couldn't really cut it there with a lot of the stuff, but the one girl that I worked with, she goes, "Hey, the barber shop that my dad goes to is looking for a barber," and that was Sam's Barber Shop over in Southside on the corner of Pittston and Cherry. Uh, he gave, the guy's name was Al. He gave me my shot there, and here we are. I'll say probably about 24 years later, still
Yeah.
at it. Yeah,
I
loyalty.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've been going there since, well, one of the shops since like 2015, maybe 2014.
Yeah.
And in fact, I almost so it's funny that so James, Brian, God rest his soul, and Anthony, this is back in 2016. I wanted to get involved. Like I was like, this profession is so amazing. Like um I just loved like going there and shooting the shit and making people like not that I was doing that, but like just seeing them do it, like making people look good, feel good, just having this community of like this just cool place. And I'm like, I want to get involved with this, but I'm like, I don't know how because I had
Mm.
a full-time job that I needed to have. And I was like, maybe I could do something like after work. And I remember those guys came to me and said, listen, we want to offer you an apprenticeship. I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. Like, and I thought that I could do my full-time job and that after work. And they're like, well, no, like you would need to do it like basically full
Yeah.
time. And I was like, fuck. I was all in. And I was like, I just at the time I was right before I got was I married? I forget how it worked out. It just like at that point I couldn't give up my full-time job. And
Right. Yeah.
I'm glad I made the decision I did just because things kind of worked out in a way that I'm very happy with. But I still do think about that opportunity where I could have been like, maybe I could have been a barber. But I also think one thing that I was like worried about is I feel like, you know, that's an art, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that part of my brain works.
Mm.
And I'm very, like, I like things being perfect. Like, I can't paint a room in my house. I mean, I do, but like, I can't because, like, if I get like a spot on the ceiling or a spot on the molding, I'm angry. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like if I'm cutting hair,
Understand
dude, I'm
that.
probably like, I can make this better. Like, I'd probably just be, you know,
That's the
in my
trait of
way.
being a perfectionist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fine. We all have that.
Yeah.
We all have that.
I'd probably, again, get in my own way, but I was close, man. I was so close.
Dang, there's still room for you to do it. Come on, Pop.
What's your favorite part about being a barber?
I I have a superpower, and that is the ability to change someone's appearance. And may they come in looking good, I can make them look better. I I love the interaction with the people. I love talking with the people. Some guys come, they come in grumpy and just need to talk. I'm there to listen. I'm a great listener, all while doing it. I mean, I love the people. I love having the ability to change someone's appearance. Uh, one of my going lines is my haircuts improve sex lives, and it's true that they've come back and said, "Hey, man, that cut worked." You know what I mean? I got a date. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, it's a superpower. I love having a superpower.
Yeah. Well, one thing I liked about it too is like, when you spin them around the chair, they see themselves and they feel good and like they say
Yeah,
thank you, right?
yeah,
Uh, my job is in sales, and I always say, I mean, I love what I do, but I always say it's a very thankless job. Like no one's like saying thank you for taking their money. Now, granted, like the
yeah,
advertising helps their business, so I mean, like it's an understood thank you.
yeah.
It's just it's an unsaid thank you. But I mean, you have 15 customers in your chair. That's like 15 thank yous a day.
It's pretty cool.
You know?
Hopefully, it's 15 thank yous. You get one that might, say,
Yeah,
like, "Well, what happened over here?" I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know.
You moved. Let's tell
Yeah,
you.
I don't know. Yeah, you move, right? But it grows back. There's the beauty of hair, it grows back.
That industry has really exploded too.
Yeah, yeah. It's great to see because at one time we thought the barbershops were dying out. The elder barbers were retiring and stuff. But you know, there's primarily two barber schools, and that's Harrisburg and Philly. And so unless you land an apprenticeship like loyalty offers and stuff like that, it's kind of hard unless you're willing to travel every day or whatever like that. So, but there has been a resurgence in the health and beauty industry, both for a cosmetologist and a barber, man. So it's actually pretty cool. Like uh, there's barbershops popping up everywhere. You know what I mean? And there's plenty of heads to cut. I never get aggravated over another shop opening or anything like that because what am I going to do? I can only cut what I could cut. You know what I mean? So there's such a great industry that yes, my brother, yes, my sister, go out there and do it. Go out there and do it. Change people's lives, and that's so that's really great that it's back out there again, like, and really like just like with pro wrestling, man, a resurgence. And it's a good time to be alive right now.
Yeah,
At least for me, you know what I mean? Because business is good at the shop, and I'm doing what I love to do, and it's just like, it's pretty cool right now.
yeah. I man, like you've always been a very positive guy. You've always had that really good energy every time I've met you, and I'm kind of sad that it's taken us this long to kind of talk at length like we have tonight. But we're both busy, right? It's only like once a year
Yeah,
we get to
yeah,
kind of let our hair down, so to speak, and then kind
yeah.
of get together. But
I just know every time we see each other, it's a nice firm handshake and a smile, man, and you know, that's
absolutely.
great. That's great.
What's funny when I messaged you today, there was a picture from 2021 that you sent me of me and Adam Farley.
Yeah.
That was
Those
funny.
boys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those guys are cool.
yeah. But what else, man?
I don't know, man. I just I basically I just wanted to just say thanks again for letting me talk to you about what we're here to talk about, and that's pro wrestling resurgence. And we, like I said, we have so many shows coming up, and it's only the first half of the year booked. Where you'll be able to see Smash Master, Phantom Six, High Tension, New Era Pro Wrestling, BYO, Frontier Pro Wrestling. The cool thing about Frontier Pro Wrestling is twice they had me do their mega show at the Anime Con at Kalahari. So 2 years in a row, I played to a room of about 500 people, and it was the biggest crowd I've ever been in front of doing my thing. So that's Frontier Pro Wrestling. Great superstars there as well, man. So it's like the reach is really getting out there, and I'm just very very happy about it right now. So like I know it sounds like I keep repeating myself, but it really is. It's a fun experience. People always say, "Oh, there's nothing to do, nothing to do." But if you pay attention, there's plenty to do, and pro wrestling is one of them things to do.
Yeah.
So that's just really excited for the 23rd Voodoo Brewery. Um, that's going to be a good one. The no ring fight, Mosh Pit Mayhem, and then we're back at the Troop Civic Center, uh, March we couldn't get March 16th, which is 316, which is, 316 is, right?
Stone Cold Day, yeah.
Stone Cold Day. So we couldn't get that day. We're the 2 days afterwards at the Troop Civic Center, and it's going to be our Smash Mountain 2, which is an excellent, awesome tournament. It'll start out with 6 or 8 wrestlers, and it'll be a competition to get to the top and be the grand winner. So, it'll be 4 matches, then 2 matches, then 1 match. Then we have our Smash Mountain winner, who last year's was Ricky Price. So who knows who it's going to be this year? There's nine great competitors all that want that spot. So that's going to be March. Uh,
18th.
so I believe it's going to be March 18th
Cool.
for that show.
Well, awesome, man. Congrats on everything. Like you're a stand-up guy. You're very positive. You're a good asset to the area. You're a good human being. Great father, husband. Just overall good dude, man.
John, thank you, and I say the same right back to you, tenfold. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you today about stuff I'm very passionate and love, which is my family, which is my job, and which is my show, pro wrestling, man. And just thank you for having this platform for music artists, and just I'll just put it out there. Any artist should come and talk to you, and this is a great opportunity for anyone, in my opinion. So thank you, John.
Well, I appreciate that. And best of luck with everything. And hopefully I'll see you at that voodoo show on the 23rd.
I hope so, man. I got your ticket. I got
Awesome.
your ticket. Yeah.
Looking forward to it, man. Well,
All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Pop.
All right. Later.